Dr. Alessandra got it down to 2 dimensions of observable behavior to make it even easier. The first dimension will tell you how easily someone is willing to share their innermost feelings and thoughts. And it's open versus guarded. This is what Dr. LaLopa wanted you to pay particular attention to. The reason I told you don't have to take notes is, number 1, you'd like me more. And number 2, we're going to get you what I'm about to talk about in notes in infinite detail, so you'll have everything you need to know. Let's talk about the difference between open and guarded behavior. Some people will readily and willingly share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas with you, whether you want to hear them or not. These people are open. They're like an open book. Any subject, anywhere, anytime. They're easy to read. Whatever they're thinking or feeling, you can see it in their face. They tend to wear their hearts on their sleeve. If they're happy, they show it. If they're sad, they show it. Some people, on the other hand, are a little more guarded. To an extreme, we might say they're what? Poker-faced. Whatever they're thinking or feeling tends to stay on the inside. We used to call it self-contained. Everything stays on the inside. They're harder to read. They're harder to get to know. They release information on a need-to-know basis. How many of you have brothers and sisters? Let me see your hands. Well, here's something I've always wondered. How can we all come from the same mother and father, grow up in the same house, eating the same food, go in the same schools, and we turn out so different? How many of you would say your brothers and sisters are markedly different in their behavioral type than yours? Well, see why we want to treat them the same as we're treating you? Do you think they make decisions differently? They approach homework differently? They make friends differently than you do? This is why this is so important. Open people, to make this more clear, really are open with their use of personal space. There's a whole study on proxemics. It talks about the use of personal space. See, open people, their primary focus, especially when they first get into a relationship or a business transaction, is on people, feelings, and relationships. Open people are your people. Warm, friendly. They're the huggers, the touchers, the two-handed handshake. If they're really open when they hug you, they might even take advantage of that. Guarded people, on the other hand, tend to keep the relationships and people a little bit more at arm's length. Their primary focus, their primary comfort level is not people, feelings, and relationships. It's facts, data, tasks, getting things done, goals, processes. People in relationships tend to come a little secondarily. Does that make sense? They're also guarded with their use of space. They don't like people getting in too close too quickly. Sometimes when I'm a little bit ornery, I'll go into a guarded person's office, and when I think they're not looking, I'll take something on their desk and I'll move it about 2 feet over and I'll wait. Now 4 minutes later in the conversation, unconsciously they'll reach over and I'll move it right back. Guarded people like a place for everything and everything in its place. They like order. Guarded people are also guarded with your use of their time. When they talk, they tend to stick to the agenda. Not open people. Their thoughts are like gumballs. They just roll off the tongue and they're out. They start off talking about this, then they get another idea, they're talking about that, and they talk about that, and they go everywhere. You can't keep them on a focus. You guys know anybody like that? Okay. Would you say that it's pretty clear the difference between people who keep things on the inside and like to focus on facts and processes and data versus people who like to focus on people, feelings, and relationships? They're very open, warm, friendly. Some people are more standoffish, cool, harder to get to know. Is that pretty clear for everybody?